All praises due to the Most High family. We back with another Acres anime review. I just finished watching episode 4 of Gachiakuta, and this was a good one. So basically, we pull up to Cleaner's headquarters, right? We rolling with Zonka, Rio, Engine, of course with Rudo along with him. And so we meet. I don't know. I mean, she's surely a cleaner in some way, but I guess she has a role as like secretary and like she evaluates the new recruits in some way because her vital instrument was the glasses, right? So Simu evaluated Rudo, say, man, he really about maybe like, I mean, I'm paraphrasing for her, but she like, he really don't need a lot of work. Now she did say that Rudo can't really use his power on demand, and then we see this later in the episode. But she said he athletic, he really just need some minor improvements here and there, right? So, and then there was a funny moment with Simu because Rudo in his fight with Zonka last episode he's still a little messy and got some mess on his neck, right? Anytime Engine laugh, like, it make me laugh for real. But so we at Cleaner's headquarters. Engine is telling us, hey man, let's get you introduced to a few people. He's saying that it's dang, am I getting the number right? I want to say he said it's about 100 cleaners. And not all cleaners are givers, though. Givers, again, family, are the ones that can use vital instruments, can turn trash into weapons, right? And as far as we know, Rudo's the only one that can use any piece of trash as a weapon. Everybody else, their vital instrument, maybe either it's a specific vital instrument, and I don't know what happens if they lose the one that they currently have, or it's like a type of, like, can Engine grab a different umbrella and make that a vital instrument? Can Rio grab a different pair of scissors and turn that into a vital instrument? Like, that's to be determined still. But so anyhow, I think Engine was telling us there's about 100 cleaners. Not all of them are givers, like I said. And he's only thinking that it's a few there. So he's like, oh, I'll introduce you to a few folk. Turns out, I mean, it's like half of everybody there. So he's like, all right, maybe that's going to take a little bit too long. Maybe that's too much. We'll do this another time. And what you notice is, like, one of the scariest looking ones with the scar on his face turns out to be like in my opinion, like, throughout this episode, he turned out to be like the most big brother energy, at least towards Rudo. And so I'm gonna get into that in a second. So we skip introducing Rudo to like the whole group, and we check to see if the boss is at headquarters, and it turns out he's not. We don't know when he'll be back. And Engine mentioned that nobody knows what his vital instrument is. Nobody knows how he uses his vital instrument. But obviously this is a powerful, respected, revered person, right? To be able to coordinate and be looked up to by all of these people, and they not really know the specifics of his strengths, right? But so we don't even know what he looked like. We don't know nothing about him, really, other than he's him, at least in the Engine's eyes. But so because we are because I think we're just hanging out until the boss get back, right? I think they think that he's coming back soon. So what we end up doing is we have Rudo tag along with Rio on a cleanup mission. Oh, and we did have Simu mention like the pollution zones and how they're like regular pollution zones, which is where we're going on like the mission with Rio in this episode. But then there are particularly bad pollution zones called No Man's Land, which is where Rudo fell to from the sphere and ran into Engine, was the No Man's Land. And so that's why breathing that air was particularly harmful for Rudo. Okay, so anyway, so we go to another polluted zone to handle some trash beasts with Rio. And so this is where we learn Rio's vital instrument is a pair of scissors. And she sometimes uses the scissors with her hands, and we see that a couple times. But for the most part, she's swinging around this giant pair of scissors with her feet, which is kind of cool. Like, it's just a different way of using a weapon, and she seemed proficient with it. Like, I want to say at the end of the mission, I was convinced that she's on a, Engine was pretty impressive, right? Because we seen him take out some massive trash beasts like solo, and it was a lot of them, right? And although Rio only had to take out one big trash beast, like on the same scale as Engine did, I'm convinced this was a different trash beast, and I'm gonna get into it, but I'm putting Rio on the same level as Engine off top. So it started off with some small trash beasts, and Rudos, he has no sense of scale yet. He don't know. I mean, he recognized that these are smaller trash beasts, but he don't know like the scale of strength and power and difficulty of the trash beasts yet. So this is like his first introduction. So Rio tell him, oh, these are like some small, slow, not very powerful trash beasts. And it was funny because she telling him not to worry, and the whole time the trash beasts get more powerful and powerful as she's telling him not to worry. So we start off with like the low scale, not to worry. Then there's some more that come. They're a little bit bigger. They actually start stepping on the first ones, and they bust the wall that the small ones could not even dent, right? And Rio saying, okay, these are a little bit bigger and stronger, but still, it's your first day. This is a good first day to observe. And then lo and behold, a giant, massive, kaiju-like trash beast pull up. And so Rio say, okay, so we're gonna, take out some of the smaller ones first, and then we'll take on the big one. And so we see that, like Engine mentioned earlier, not all cleaners are givers. And so Rio's squad has some other like support cleaners. And so they're not powered. I mean, they're strong in their own way, but they don't have giver powers. And we noticed the scary looking one that when Engine was going to introduce Rudo to some of them, the scary one with the scar, he's like it seemed like Rio's like right hand, like main supporter. And he was giving big bro energy to Rudo, right? So he helping Rio. They taking out the smaller ones, and Rudo actually have to help and save one of the other supporters. And this is where he realized, and this is where what Simiyu said was confirmed. Rudo's really been using his power off of instinct and just off the go. He really don't understand how it works and how to pull it out on command. And you can see this because he tried to save one of the supporters, but he almost harmed the supporter in using his giver powers on a pole. Like the way it expanded and everything, it almost hit the guy he was trying to save, but he saved them nonetheless. Now we dealing with this massive kaiju trash beast, and it low-key, it was regenerating to an extent. So we're thinking that a good solid strike from a vital instrument will take it out, but it took multiple for sure, and it low-key regenerated, which was different. And that's what the supporter said. He's like, we're gonna make a note of this. This is our first time really seeing that. And so Engine did not have to take on a regenerating kaiju trash beast. So I'm putting Rio on that level with him. But so anyway, she take it out, and then they notice, and she went hard. Like the final blow was really cool to see from Rio. But then we noticed that this kaiju trash beast was different because it actually was being powered by a vital instrument. So that's something that, that's something that we're gonna have to see through, and that's gonna have to develop, because what's going on there? Other than that, the episode finishes with one of these guys that tried to kidnap Rudo that Engine dropped him off with. He got picked up by some villainous looking dude. And so now someone knows that Rudo's a spherite and is looking for him. Peace and love.